come together for the season. They're frenemies. They fight. They give each other shade. They don't hate each other, Giselle and Karen. They get it. They get it. The two of them together. I think it's a great housewives relationship. I think that's how it should be. I agree with you. She's sitting there and she is like watching the paycheck go away, this Karen, and she sees what's happening.
And look, I can tell you, Robin's done with Juan not showing up to that reunion. I mean, it's over, right? I mean, because the housewives are the husbands are the kind of the silent, they're even though they're not paid. I mean, they're beneficiaries because a lot of these women do make incredible money and they should. But for Juan not to show, I think just says they are done. They're done. They know they're done. They know it's coming to an end. And it's really bad. It was really bad television. It's too bad. It's I don't even know. I can't even describe it. I don't know if other people, our fabulous listeners, are feeling it, but there was such a bitterness. And it's interesting because you got to have a villain, you got to have a good guy every single season, and you have to recognize sometimes you're the villain, you're the good guy, and it helps everybody, right? Rising tides lift all ships. But man, they're not even in the same. And I think Osefo's gone. I think the Professor is out. I think Candy Gal's gone. I think, well, obviously she's quit. I think Robin's gone. But then it's like, I don't even know. Is that a show? I mean,
we're gonna come back with Karen. We're gonna come back with Karen, Giselle, and Ashley, and just those are the three OGs, and we're gonna have a bunch of newbies. I mean, Potomac's in trouble, guys. It is. I mean,
this reunion is painful to watch. It's painful, and Andy doesn't seem like he's having a good time. It's really bad. It's over.
I did this again on Patreon, and people were like, I believe.
What did they say?
The long story is there. I can't do it again at the moment, but I really believe that this is the beginning of the end for Housewives. I do. I can't help it. We're spacing things out. We filmed Jersey so long ago, and then we held it. And we filmed Dubai so long ago, and then we held it. We learned from Jersey and Dubai. Now we're not even filming. We are taking huge breaks. New York is filming now. It took a huge break. Potomac is about to take a huge break. The OC took a minute of a break. Calling Atlanta, I mean, we are spacing this out. There's not going to be no more Jersey and Dubai where we film it and hold it. We're just spacing it out. And the only exception is Beverly Hills. And the only exception with Salt Lake is because of Monica and because everyone was heated. They got lucky. And I know from a reliable source, rumor is they were going to cancel Salt Lake. They thought of it and they gave them one last chance, which was season 4. That's what someone told me. I don't know if it's true, but it was from a pretty reliable source. So
I know you say that, but it's like, I feel like they don't like, yes, it's the beginning, the end, but also I feel like they don't have anything else. Like the days of testing even new reality shows really aren't happening. You guys know I moved to LA to be a producer. It is so difficult. And I think I am a producer in some ways, but in other ways, I feel like I'd have to be so all in it. I couldn't keep my own business. But I will tell you, when I go out on these meetings, they want like dating shows. They want game shows. They're like, they don't even want to hear the word talk show. Talk show is completely dead. They even want you to say those two words.
Despite the fact that we're saying this about Nene, but I agree with you. Nobody wants a talk show, and nobody wants like me and you with 2 other people sitting around like Access Hollywood talking. Dead. So that's dead.
And they're just not testing. The only thing they're testing are family businesses, kind of like Chip and Joanna Gaines, and maybe really, and I'm talking actual real friend groups. Like we have been friends for a long time and we have something, right? We all got an STD from each other, or we all, by the way, have a third arm or something. Like they want that. But
or workplace selling Sunset Vanderpump, but real. Real. I mean, it not like set up like our office. And it has to be an interesting. They tried that a lot. They had that PR show on E. They've tried a lot of these business type. The Abbey, there was a reality show about the Abbey right here in West Hollywood on E.
I was gonna say, I don't even think those are really working unless
No.
it has such a big hook to it. I just don't think those are working. And so I know you say that, but it's like, what is Bravo going to replace? I think they're going to try to hold on as much as possible. And I think maybe in a way, them dragging these shows out is because they're hoping, like, if they slowly release, maybe they'll get more advertisers for that, maybe more eyeballs, because people are like, where's my Bravo fix? So we know in May we're only getting in May,
Maybe.
right? Jersey,
Jersey,
while.
Dubai is December, as June. And by the way, they're also spacing out Miami. Miami is about to go through a complete overhaul. I mean, I think Alexia is losing her job because she's a big ticket item. They can't just get. I think Adriana, Alexia, and Marisol are all gone. That's honestly what I think. We can get into that more if anyone wants. But like, I see what you're saying. I do. I agree, but the money has to make sense. So that again is why New York was canceled, in addition to everyone crying, whatever, from season 3. It was such an expensive show. Again, the New York was a success because it cost so little. So I agree with what you're saying, but the numbers on Housewives, when you have Tamra and Shannon and Heather, Emily and Gina have been there forever. Like, the numbers have to make sense for the advertising dollars associated with that show. I agree with you. I don't know what else Bravo has, but that is also a mistake. You and I better fucking start talking about a lot of other stuff besides Bravo, because I've said from the day
I'm
one,
ready.
any podcast with Bravo in its title, any webpage Bravo, I just think, I said this 5 years ago. I didn't want to set this podcast up that way. That's why I have other guests. I don't know. I see what you're saying, but the numbers have to make sense. So we're just going to reboot every franchise? Or
No,
could the
I
whole
don't think.
network slow itself down and just go a
I
different direction? That's
I
what I
think it's
think.
going to be a slow burn until the end. I think they're doing a 5-year projection. How can we
I
keep
agree. I think
RHOPA?
Housewives is gone in 5 years. I really do. I do.
I think
I'm not going to change my mind.
wow, that's a
I don't
huge,
know.
that'll be interesting. God, somebody bookmark this.
Bookmark
I think
this.
it will be but I think they're going to, like, how can we space out RHOBH? How can we like Roni, how can we at least keep it at a low cost to produce and give it a runway? How can we, RHOC, I think is going to do okay. So there we go. Like, can we keep that, you know, who else is left? Atlanta. I mean, Atlanta is such a marquee for them.
That
I
ain't
don't
cheap.
know.
Kenya Moore and Portia together, that ain't cheap right there
Think there's a
to
lot of,
start.
I don't even know how Dubai's still on the air. I've no Married to Medicine does well. I think they're gonna play out a lot below deck. Summer House is actually doing fairly well. I think they're gonna
Mhm.
the long runway with those. So
But those are not one producer, one thing. I mean, Below Deck has a lot of things. I mean, yeah, I think diversify. I think that's my plan. Start trying out new shows again. I mean, it's not easy. And this is where Vanderpump is just thriving. I mean, the value